Hi everyone, Grover from Upscale here, and today we're going to be talking about the Pathos InPol Ear. So you may be familiar with the Pathos gear. I know Kevin's done a lot of videos on it. This is their dedicated headphone amplifier. It's in a similar form factor to the other InPol family of products, some of which are integrated amplifiers, but this one is specifically a headphone amplifier. There's balanced outputs on the front, 4-pin XLRs. There's also a 1/4 inch, and then this very cool volume control. And then you have an array of inputs and outputs on the back end. So you get RCA and XLR. You can also put an optional DAC card in this. So if you want to have a USB input directly into the amplifier, you can do that as well, making this a sort of all-in-one desktop solution. Rather big for a desktop, but you can do that as well. So the InPol Ear, let's talk a little bit about InPol technology. I'm sure you've heard Kevin talk about this a ton, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But essentially it is a tube or valve input stage, and these are twin triodes on the input here. And then it is coupled via a carrier transformer into a Class A solid-state output stage, which I believe uses BJTs. Now that allows for the power of the transistor to couple to the driver, giving you more current. And it allows for a tube to be on the input stage, which raises that input impedance, which is always a great thing, and allows for those natural tube harmonics to come through on the small signal stuff. So what's the effect of InPol? Well, this amplifier to me has kind of a warm tonality. It's very smooth, it's not soupy or gooey, but it has a real richness to everything across the frequency spectrum. The highs, the mids, and the lows all have a denseness and just a real sweet sense of musical engagement. It's also very detailed and it's quite powerful. This amplifier is actually not seen in the wild a ton, I think partially because not a lot of people know about it, but I wish more people did. One of the things that's really exciting about it is that it has so much power. At 16 watts out of the balanced outputs, you're getting 10 watts into most headphones. And out of the unbalanced, you're getting about 6 watts. Step that up to, say, 50 ohms, which is a more common impedance for a lot of planar magnetics, you're still getting almost 6.5 watts out of the balanced output, and you're getting about 3 watts out of the single-ended output. So this is a beast of a headphone amplifier. You can drive Susvaras, you can drive the Abyss, you can drive Dan Clark Stealth or Expanse, you can drive Audeze LCD 4s, you can drive pretty much anything you want to with this headphone. At 300 ohms, say with a Sennheiser HE800, it's putting out almost an entire watt, actually maybe even a little bit more than a watt, into 300 ohms. I mean, this is really, really, really high power, and it maintains that power, again, from high impedances down to low impedances, courtesy of those tubes combined to that wonderful solid-state stage. Now, one of the interesting things about the Pathos InPol gear, like I said, it has a warm sound to it, and it really is very, very sweet and musically engaging sounding, but it doesn't lose out on transparency. While this isn't necessarily the most sparkly or the most ruthlessly detailed amplifier out there, the warmth that it has is really, really smooth and still very transparent. So you can run something like, say, a ZMF headphone with these, and you'll still get great detail out of it, while at the same time experiencing all the wonderful attributes of that mid-range and low end. It's kind of like the best of solid state and tube. Again, very smooth, and I find that it almost sort of takes sandpaper to the harshest parts of the audio spectrum. It's almost like it smooths over those upper mid-range and those lower treble bits that are really, really harsh, especially in sometimes modern productions for popular music, say. But without losing the transparency. You get the detail. You can listen to, say, Beatles' Rubber Soul, and you'll get all of the wonderful detail at 2K in the voices, but you won't have all that extra shoutiness or that sort of nasty, recorded in a bucket type of sound, right? So this amplifier to me is a great choice if you like to have that sort of smooth sound and that warm sound without losing detail. Now, great matches for this would be a Meze Elite, which already has a linear but somewhat sort of relaxed sound, and that pairs really, really well with this very smooth sound. I know Chris Landfield, one of our salespeople, I think his favorite combination is either the Empyrean or the Elite with the InPol Ear. Another combination that I really like is the Abyss 1266 with the InPol Ear, just because it offers a very different sound than other high-powered amplifiers. Something like a Ferrum, or if you're going really high-end like a Trafomatic or something like that, obviously sounds great with the Abyss. But these take, like I said, that smoothing effect in the upper mid-range to the Abyss's frequency response, which is not the most flat in the entire industry, and it really smooths them out, and it brings them to a place that is very rich and dense and listenable. Accessoire is a great choice with these. Again, it's a little bit of a warmer choice, but you'll get a bass richness, which I think might appeal to people who really like EDM music or really like to listen to large-scale classical, where that sense of low end will lift up the timpani or the bass drum or the bass section, right? So those are examples of headphones that I might pair with these. Again, also a Stealth or a DCA Expanse are great choices. Again, those, it will take those headphones, which can occasionally with the wrong amplifier be a little dry, to a really warm, rich, and musically engaging place. So Pathos InPol Ear, I mean, what more is there to say about it? It's got that really cool InPol technology. It takes the sound of the Pathos gear, that awesome mating of solid state with tube, and brings it into a headphone amplifier. And again, the balanced output is crazy powerful on this, so you can really run anything in your headphone arsenal on this amplifier. Grover from Upscale here. Check out our website, like and subscribe to the video, and I will see you next time.